Hello everybody, it's the Farmsim guy here. Welcome to Waterloo and Deere Country. We are going to do something a little bit different in this series. Obviously we are on the doorstep of the large assembly plant in Waterloo, the large John Deere assembly plant. And this series is about contracting. We are going to run a rather large contracting business called Deere Country Contracting. And the backstory is we've been around since 1970s, but very recently got into partnership with John Deere where they provide test equipment from the Waterloo factory for us to use as and when we see fit. We can feed back to them how it performs, they can do tests with us, so it's a great partnership. Now one of the things we did need to do was upgrade our facilities to accommodate this new equipment and work as a more efficient operation. So with the help of John Deere, we have built a completely new facility, and we'll just drop into a little time lapse now to show you how we pulled that together before we do a tour of it. So there you have it, there's the new facility. State of the art, holds all the kit that we need, can service our equipment wherever we need to as well. We've got all the appropriate silos to purchase seed, fuel, fertilizers whenever we need. It's a really slick operation now, and I think will really add value to the local farmers. We service all the farmers in the Waterloo area, so we've got a lot of jobs that we can get working on. It's currently early spring, so all of the contracts we're looking at the moment will be ploughing and cultivating, which is great. As the year goes on, that will change. But the aim is to be running a lot of contracts and a lot of tractors in a lot of different fields at the same time. So it's always going to be busy. So let's have a quick tour of the new facility, just so you can see what we've got available to us. And of course, there's equipment in there that you might not see at the moment, which we may need later in the year, depending on the time of year. So again, the luxury of being in partnership with John Deere means that we can request any of that stuff whenever we like. And obviously we can work with them and feedback to them how that's performing. So they appreciate it as well. It's a win-win situation for everybody. So let's just have a look in here. We'll just pop over, see what's in the shed here, and the sort of things you can see we've got available to us. So there's a 9R in there, a 9RX with a large cultivator there, a large air cart and seeder, a couple of 790s there with different configs for us to test. Hopefully getting hold of a 9X soon combine, which would be great. An 8R there with a little applicator and the anhydrous tank. Another 8RX there with a 9-meter ripper on, deep ripper, which is a great bit of kit. I'm sure we'll see that out in the fields very quickly. Over there we've got a header and a couple of 4940s here. One with a spray config and one with a spreader config. Little 7R there, testing some new stuff on that, which is great, and again, handy for some of the smaller fields. An 8RX here with a planter config on it, European setup here, as you can tell by the flashes on the front, so we're obviously testing that before it gets sent over to Europe. A couple of cultivators here, another 8RX, an 8R there with a slightly smaller cultivator as well. So, like I said, we have got a lot of kit here, but it's not exhaustive. We'll have access to other stuff as and when we need it. And as well, just in addition to that, a couple of TLX 9000s here, if we ever need haulage contracts. There are some haulage contracts here, but also handy for us if we're doing large crop contracts in the summer. Working with combines, we can get stuff down to the sell points very, very quickly there too. So lots of good equipment, state-of-the-art facility. It's a fantastic setup. Service truck there, should we need it. But of course, we've got John Deere on our doorstep here. We do have a workshop here and a garage for things that break down regularly. But will we need it that much? Probably not. That's a little tour of the new facility. Let's have a look at what's available to us in contracts at the moment. So just a quick look at the mini-map here. You can see there is the Waterloo plant. We are based in this area here, which looks kind of wasteland at the moment. Obviously, that's been converted for us. So we've got a nice large piece of space here. Like I said, we do not own any fields. Everything we do will be contractor work. We're running precision farming here. The map has already been done. All the farmers contribute their soil maps to us after they've done their testing. So we have an idea of all of the fields in the area. So we don't need to worry about that, but obviously that helps when we're applying product to these fields later on in the year when we're fertilizing contracts. So very, very helpful from that perspective. Contract-wise, we are spoilt for choice. We have got ploughing and cultivating contracts coming out of our ears at the moment. Some big, some small. What we do have is a nice range of fields. So big fields like field 29, field 26, 31, 6 over there. We'll use some of the bigger equipment on, but obviously we've got some very small fields as well, like field 21 there. So it gives us the opportunity to use a broad range of kit and help John Deere understand how their kit works on different farms. There's also a big piece of forestry up here. We're not running any forestry equipment at the moment, but not to say that that won't change at some point as well. So without further ado, I think we'll jump in and grab a few contracts. So there we go, we've just accepted 3 contracts on fields 1, 2 and 3, 2 ploughing and a cultivating contract. Field 1 is the cultivating contract, 2 and 3 are ploughing, so we will set the tractors up to go. So field 1, cultivating contract, I think it would be remiss of us to not give the big cultivator a run out. One of the benefits of having this kit is we can get through stuff quickly, help farmers out who may not have the size of kit that we're able to get our hands on. So let's run this up to field 1 and get him started. Here we are, field 1. This is a rather large bit of kit, so I'm expecting we can get around this relatively quickly. Okay, we had a slight issue. That field wasn't working. There was a bit of a bug or something in there, which wouldn't let us cultivate it. So we're going to move down to another field, field 29, which is a little bit further down the map, and set up there and see how we get on there. In the meantime, we will, while he's running down there, we will get organised with the other 2 contracts ready to plough. So we'll come back to this guy in a minute when he's made it down to the farm. So I've set up the first RX there in field 3. I'm just going to leave him for a second, just a little test to make sure it worked. We've got a smaller ripper that we're going to use over in field 2, which is just over there in the distance. So we're going to grab another tractor and we'll be back for that. Actually, change of plan. This is the smaller field, so we'll use the smaller bit of kit here and we'll move the 8RX over to the other field. There we go, course generated. As you can see, it's going around the drainage ditches rather nicely there, so that looks good. With that in mind, let's just get going. Right, so here we are, field 26. I do believe this is it. What we'll do is we'll just drop it into the ground and make sure it's operating as intended before we set up the worker. Get it unfolded. Got a hilly field. This will be interesting to see how the 8RX goes on it, because this is a big bit of kit and it does need a little bit of horsepower, but we shouldn't have any issues. Let's get it dropped into the ground. That's interesting, it's not actually showing as working, even though we're in the field. Well, we've just run another tractor down here, because that's not turning the ground as we intended. So we have brought down the 9RX with this different cultivator on. We're going to give this a run, just to make sure that we can get the job done. But clearly a problem with that cultivator. So we'll take that back to the shop and work out what's wrong with it. I'm assuming straight away this one will just do the job. We'll drop it in the ground. And there you go, yep, everything fine. So we'll set this worker up to run this field, and we'll run the other one back to the farm and work out what's wrong with it. Okay, he's off and running nicely. Let's get that other one back to the farm and we'll check on how the ploughs are doing.
Now my wheels in motion and my windows open with the wind blowing in my hair. I'm driving down the highway, gonna do this my way. I can feel it in the air. Here I go. Turning up the stereo in a place I didn't know till now. In a different part of town, I see new colors as the sun goes down. No, it doesn't.
So the plough's going well. We just dropped back here to the 9RX to see how he's doing on this field. It is a big field. This is still running the headlands, so he's powering along though, a healthy 9 miles an hour, so all is good. So we'll just keep an eye on him for a little while as well, and then we'll just go and check on the 8R that's in field 3 as well.
Blowing in my hair. I'm driving down the highway, gonna do this my way. I can feel it in the air. Here I
So there we go, 3 contracts running rather nicely now. Here's the 8R with the smaller ripper, just on the smaller field 3 now. He's moving at pace as well. That's quite a heavy tool, isn't it? Look at the way it's lifting those front wheels up, or lifting the engine up when it turns, even with a full weight on the front. It's interesting. Doesn't seem to be having any issues though with pulling, which is what I was slightly worried about, so we'll leave him to that as well. So there you go, guys. A quick insight into the new series, quick insight into the world of contracting and what we're going to be doing over the next few weeks. Hopefully we'll get a lot done. There'll be a bit of variety here as well. You get to see a lot of equipment, so we'll see how it goes. So let me know what you think in the comments, and I will see you all again very, very soon. But from me, this is Deere Country. This is Deere Country Contracting. I am the Farmsim guy, and I will see you all again very, very soon. Bye for now.